only gave us so many beautiful insights about Ramayana as you read the Ramakatha Rasavahini, but the most fascinating thing, living with Bhagawan and listening to Ramayana from Sai Rama himself, was Swami would create stuff, recreate Ramayana with the objects from that era. In fact, I remember in the year 1999 when Bhagawan was in Kodaikanal with a few of us. So there was that day a very unusual scene, because there was suddenly a huge downpour and there was some water leaking on the first floor of Kodaikanal. Many unusual things happen in the divine presence, and only later we realized that nothing happens without a reason. And that day, in fact, I remember Swami had asked one of the speakers, I think it was Mrs. Ratanlal Amma, who was speaking, and because there was a bit of a commotion there and some of the teachers went up to see what has happened, and Swami said, okay, now no more of the talk. And so Ratanlal Amma sat down and Swami said, let's have a bhajan, so sing something. So I remember we started this bhajan, Rama Rama Sai Ram, and everyone followed that bhajan, and bhajan was going on, and even as everyone was singing Rama Rama Sai Rama, suddenly Swami waved his hand and Swami created this huge medallion. Actually, it was a huge medallion. Sai Prakash brother also was there. Huge medallion, and you could see a majestic Rama actually. Rama, the blue, beautiful Rama standing really such a handsome figure and holding the Kodanda, and with the blue sky in the background. He was really looking regal, yeah, absolutely regal. And Swami said, this is how Rama looked on the night of the coronation. That when he was about to be coronated, the next day, the most handsome Rama, the Prince Rama, that is how Rama looked. And we don't know what was how the stars were aligned that day for Bhagawan to create that beautiful moment for us. And Swami was so kind. Swami took that medallion, and Swami personally went and showed every member there. I think all the students there, all the teachers there, he kept showing that. And in fact, after some time, when Swami was he gave it in the hand of one of the senior devotees, and so he was not able to hold it, and Swami said, okay, so it needs a pedestal. So again he created waved his hand and he created a pedestal, and the person whom he gave it to also, his name also is Rama.
Okay.
And so Swami put it on the pedestal, and he gave it to that person. And I think there are so many such occasions where either Bhagawan was talking about Ramayana, or out of the blue, as Prem, you were saying, Bhagavan never needed an occasion to talk about Ramayana. It could be Ganesh Chaturthi, Swami can talk about Rama. It could be Krishnashtami and Swami would talk about Ramayana. It could be any occasion. And if in a Kodaikanal like setting, which is just his playground, where Swami would simply recollect and talk about all those devotees dear to him, Ramayana would definitely figure in that discussion.
Was it in the same trip? This was 99, right? Kodaikanal, yeah.
Yes.
So I think this was in the hilltop bungalow.
Yes.
Swami suddenly materialized a beautiful brooch.
Yes.
So
right.
I think there were diamonds all around. It was like
a rose or something. Right?
It was a rose.
Or a flower.
There's a flower, and all diamonds around. And Swami says, this is Sita's brooch.
Yes.
And then Swami is showing it, and then I think some of the boys said, Swami, please wear it.
Yeah.
And then he actually pinned it here. He pinned it.
We have a picture of that, and you can't say whether the smile is more enchanting or the brooch.
No, I remember that was the occasion when all the ladies were there.
Yes.
All the ladies were around Swami.
And Swami was standing on the balcony on the first, and then he just showed it, and then he pinned it very beautifully, and for a brief moment.
Yeah.
And then
I think one more materialization I've heard of is apparently once Swami materialized the chain that Ravana wore.
Mm.
And very fascinating. So Swami waved his hand, and a dollar which was this big almost, right, which had 3 lingams in 3 different colors.
Okay.
3 different stones or crystals or whatever they were. So Swami held it like this, and then Swami let go, and the chain kept going and growing and growing till this point. And then Swami said the chain is made out of 105 lingams. As a rosary, if you use the lingam, and then there are 3 over here. And I think Swami also briefly wore it, just to show the size of that chain. And I think it came to Swami's torso, and Swami said, Because for Ravana it was neck tight.
Oh my.
Talking about size, so many occasions Swami has created Rama's ring.
Right.
And it would be a huge ring actually.
Yes.
And green in color. And I remember on multiple occasions Swami is saying that see how big it is. You 2-3 fingers can actually enter enter that ring. And Swami said because Rama was Ajanubhav. In those days people are really huge sizes actually. The normal size was itself probably twice or thrice of the average man of Kali Yuga, isn't it?
Right.
రాములకు వేలు ఈ చిటిన్ వేలు ఇంత పెద్దది.
Big finger.
Big finger.
That's the ring segment of Swami.
ఇది మ్యారేజ్ లోపల జనకుడు పెట్టాడు.
This is presented by King Janaka.
వేద యాగ సమయం లోపల
At that time,
అందరూ వచ్చి ఈ వాల్మీకి ఆశ్రమానికి వచ్చారు.
and all people came to that hermitage of our sage was.
And, talking about rings, there was this student who was narrating this beautiful episode of Swami materializing a huge ring, a diamond ring, and all of a sudden Swami was talking about something and Swami showed it. And then Swami said, this is the ring that Janaka wore.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then generally you hear about Rama and this is Janaka's ring. And then Swami narrated the story that, we all know that Janaka had this obsession that I want to get enlightenment in the time it takes to put your leg over the saddle of a horse.
Saddle of horse,
From one
yes.
stirrup to the other. He said, can anybody give me enlightenment in that period? So a lot of scholars and great rishis and all come and they said, this is a ridiculous request that you have because it is not easy. It takes lifetimes to remove the vasanas in the mind. He says, no, I want somebody who can give me this. And then in comes Ashtavakra, who says, I can, but I have some conditions. And Ashtavakra says, you cannot achieve it here in the luxury of your palace. You come with me. So he takes him to the forest. And then he tells Janaka that I want you to make an offering to me. And this is a story that Swami actually has narrated in his discourses and all that. And about the glory of Janaka. And then Janaka says, anything. That I have accepted you as my guru, anything you give me. And then Janaka says, Ashtavakra says, give me your mind. And Janaka says, I have given you my mind. Then Ashtavakra says, okay, close your eyes and sit and meditate.
Sit here.
Right, till I come back. And Ashtavakra goes off. And then the ministers and the others, they start wondering what has happened to the king. So they come and they see Janaka sitting in the middle of nowhere in the forest, lost in meditation. So they all come and call him and they say, King, what has happened? What has this man done to you? Janaka doesn't respond at all. And they bring the army and they bring a lot of noise and chaos. Nothing happens. Janaka doesn't stir. Then they call the queens in. They say, please come and do something. They all try pleading with him. Janaka doesn't open his eye. So then a party is sent into the forest, say, find this man who has done this to Janaka and bring him. So they catch Ashtavakra and come. And they say, what have you done to our king? He's not responding to any of our calls. Then Ashtavakra looks at Janaka and says, oh Janaka, open your eyes. And Janaka instantly opens his eyes. And everybody says that till now we were making so much of ruckus and you did not respond to it. The queens came and the ministers came and you didn't open your eyes. How is it that now you opened the moment? Ashtavakra said. And Janaka says, I had given my mind to him and there is nothing I can do without the mind. So unless I have his permission, I can't do anything with this body.
Mind is not
because
mine.
the mind is his. And Ashtavakra is so pleased by this, and then he says that okay, one final test, right? He says for realization, all this is a hurdle, and all this paraphernalia of the kingdom and all the wealth. Give it all to me, then I'll give you that, the highest wisdom. Janaka, who is in a state of complete vairagya, he says there's nothing. And then apparently Janaka says, see, I cannot give you the kingdom because it is not mine to give it to you.
The wealth of the kingdom.
Wealth of the kingdom. I'm only a trustee. A king is only a trustee. He does not own the kingdom or the throne or the wealth that comes with it. That has to go on to the next person. But whatever is my personal wealth, I'll give it to you. Right? Whatever is my treasury, I can give it to you. And then he orders. He says, empty the treasuries, my personal treasuries, and bring everything and give it to Ashtavakra. And all the ministers are thinking that this man is a con man who has come to cheat our king. Right? So everything is brought. Treasure chests of jewelry and gold coins, everything is brought. And Janaka is keeping an eye whether everything has come. Then he realizes one ring is missing in all this. So apparently that one ring that was missing was a ring that Janaka's father-in-law had given it to him at the time of wedding. And the wife looks at this ring and he says, this is after all my father has given. So why cannot I keep it in memory of my father? And what does this Ashtavakra anyway need? After all, a recluse. So she whisks that away and she keeps it with herself. And Janaka notices that that's one thing that's missing. So he calls the queen and says, where is that ring? I have promised the sage that I'll give him everything, so I cannot miss out anything. So the ring is also brought and put along with the pile. Then Ashtavakra is completely moved. He says, you have proved that your Vairagya is perfect. And he takes the same ring and he says, I don't want anything. I am a man who is in the forest. Why do I need all this wealth? You take it back. But he takes this ring, which happens to be a white diamond ring, which was the ring that Swami materialized in the interview.
Wow.
Right? A huge white diamond ring. And then Ashtavakra actually blows into the ring and chants a mantra, and that white diamond becomes a green diamond ring.
Green stone.
A green stone. Right? And then Swami said that all the wisdom that Ashtavakra transferred to Janaka was through this ring. And Swami blew, and that ring became a green diamond ring.
Wow.
Right?
Awesome.
And Swami said, this is the story of the ring. And this was the ring, then he gave it to Janaka, and Janaka kept it close to his heart. Moment the horse could be brought in, he could climb it, so to say.
Wow.
Right? And that was, in the narration of the students over there, that was the first time they were seeing that particular a green stone in a ring.
Yes.
And thereafter
Probably
we know.
it initiates the person's journey towards realization.
It raises the person's consciousness from worldly consciousness to something more spiritual.
There was a name of the diamond also, Vanaspati
Vajram.
Vajram.
Right?
Wow.
In tradition, apparently it is called Vanaspati Vajram. Swami did not mention it.
Swami mentioned it in
right?
passing. Swami mentioned it in passing, and he said that it's a very rare form of Vajra
Right.
diamond.
And thereafter, I think Swami had blessed so many devotees with a very similar kind of a ring, not the same size, because in Swami's words, it had to be best fit. But then later, we have the Kulwant Hall with that green color.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what was
There
going
must
on
have
in
been
my
a
mind.
significance to that too,
Significance,
that
yes,
sitting under that
Sitting
green
that
roof
green-
of the
yes.
Kulwant Hall.
Exactly.
We don't know what is happening to us internally.
Absolutely. I mean, talking about that diamond and Swami transforming that white into green, I think we have seen that any number of times.
Right.
And Bhagawan has, time and again reminded us, diamond is dye your mind. And this is a fantastic tale of Janaka actually really killing his mind.
Right.
Becoming an Amanaska. And then Bhagavan gifting in the diamond, and then once you dye your mind, what is left is only peace. That permanent peace, that is Prasanthi, and that is the green that he was blessed with. And as you mentioned, that is the bliss that Prasanthi is in, and that is the bliss in which we sit every day in Sai Kulwant Hall. Whenever we are in Prasanthi Nilayam, Swami created that green roof, and no wonder whoever comes to Prasanthi Nilayam, they always feel that somehow they are not their own selves. They always feel that I am not this person when I'm sitting in Sai Kulwant Hall. Something else takes over. The peace that I felt here, I cannot feel anywhere else. And I think that is all Ramayana being recreated in each one of our lives. Every time you are in the presence of Bhagavan in the Kulwant Hall. And talking about the journey of Ramayana that is happening within each one of us, Bhagavan used to always tell us that while that Ramayana as a story has so many plots to it, but it has to be understood at so many levels, and that is the reason why we have so many essays, so many elucidations of Ramayana, and still we are never done with it, because you can understand the text from your level of evolution. As you grow, you will read the same story and you will get a different interpretation, you will get a different guidance, and it will give you something which will help you to grow higher on your spiritual path. And I think that is the reason why these texts are not storybooks. They have to be read again and again, because as we are growing, these scriptures should grow in us, because only then we can grow on the right path. And you take, for example, Swami says when Rama broke the Shiva Dhanush, when he went to attain that Shiva Dhanush, what is Shiva? Shiva Dhanush, Swami says that is auspiciousness. So here was Rama as an individual attaining auspiciousness. And after that, Rama meets Sita. So Swami says, who is Sita? Sita has come from Mother Earth. Sita is the daughter of Janaka. Janaki, Sita was called as Vaidehi because she was the daughter of Vaideha. And Janaka is called as Vaideha because he is the one without body. And which is the one thing that is without body? Swami says it is the mind which is without a form, without a body. You cannot have a form to the mind. And who is the daughter of the mind? It is Brahmagyana, which is the daughter of the mind. So Sita represents that Brahmagyana. So here the individual, after attaining auspiciousness, was being blessed with Brahmagyana. So I think this is just one snippet. But if you look at this Adhyatma Ramayana that Swami talks about, and Swami has mentioned this in so many discourses, if you look at every little character, every little episode of Ramayana, we will find so many such very, very powerful pointers for us to internalize and contemplate on what Ramayana is trying to give each one of us, isn't it?
Right.
One more interesting point that Swami says is, you have Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, but none of them could actually describe Mother Sita perfectly. So at that time when Hanuman had to go in search of Mother Sita, he says the only person who can describe Mother Sita perfectly is Lord Rama. And what Lakshmana could say, what anybody else could say, he makes an analogy there. He says it's like the Vedas. The Vedas are trying to describe, they're giving you the pointers, they give you, but only the Lord can adequately describe Adi Shakti, that is Mother Sita. The whole drama, of course, there is this story of how Mother Sita goes into the fire before the episode of Lanka, and the Sita who goes to Lanka is just an aspect of Mother Sita. So there's so many levels of meanings.
Talking about the fire, that's very, very significant, right? Because Rama tells Mother Sita that I am born out of fire, because we know Rama came out of the Yajna Kunda, and Swami says that Sita also came out of fire because she came out of Mother Earth, and at that time Mother Earth was being plowed to make a Yajna Kunda. Swami says you are also someone who has emerged from fire, and now we have to play this drama, and it is fire who will be the witness. It is fire who is going to cooperate with us. It is in fire that we have to leave our supreme principles and now enact the drama of you getting abducted and me going there and vanquishing Ravana and returning. So finally, when Sita was asked to go through the fire to come back to Rama and become part of Ayodhya, so when you have Rama asking Sita to go through the fire, it was like she was getting back that principle that they had left it in the fire, invested in the fire. So while superficially when you look at it, you feel, oh, how is Rama asking again Sita to go through this fire ritual? It was not the right thing to do. Why is Rama doubting Sita? So the thing is, we cannot understand this scripture at a superficial level. So there are so many such very, very powerful significances and insights and levels of understanding, and that will come to us only when we read the scripture again and again, even as we purify ourselves.
Right. I mean, even the name, Swami would often say, Rama is Atma Rama. You don't say Atma Krishna. Right? Because Swami would say that this is the journey of the Jivatma. And Swami gives a beautiful thing, Rama stands for Atma. We all are Atma. Swami would make a statement, I am God, so are you, but you don't know about it. So the whole essence is in the knowing. Right? So Swami says that Sita represents the knowing. So the knowledge that the Atma is divine is represented by Sita.
Okay.
So if you see the whole journey of Rama, he acts like he's a normal human being, which means he's acting the role of a sadhaka. And there's a very important, significant event that happens in his childhood when Rama is sent on a pilgrimage with the brothers. Right? They've finished their studies, and I think Rama requests Dasharatha that he wants to go around seeing the kingdom, before he is ready to be coronated, and Dasharatha is very happy to comply. They send him, and Rama is very drawn towards temples, and wherever he goes to temples, he sits down with the scholars there, and he has a lot of discussions. So he is actually getting used to Advaita, and when he comes back, his mind is completely unsettled. He comes back, and the first thing he does is he doesn't go back to the quarters of Dasharatha to pay his respects, because he says, who's the father, who's the son, who's elder, who's younger.
Yes.
Right? And Swami says that is what happens when the sadhaka first has an encounter with Advaita. It destabilizes you. Right? And then you have the most important part of Vashishta coming and giving his discourse to Rama. So that is the aspect of Guru coming and clarifying that you've understood right. The truth is that, but you need a little more nuance in the whole thing. So the first Guru who comes and says, clarifies Advaita in a way that it doesn't completely unsettle you like
Right.
that. Then comes the second Guru in the form of Vishwamitra. When Vishwamitra comes, Dasharatha tells him that, I would love to send them, but they don't seem to be in their normal sense right now. They seem to be disturbed. Vishwamitra says, nothing doing, you send them with me. So the second aspect of the Guru is the Guru comes and says, just keep quiet and do my work. Right? Don't ask about all these things. Oh, I'm confused. Just keep quiet and do my work. Right? That's the second aspect of the Guru. And the third aspect of the Guru is Janaka, who finally gives that Brahmagyan to Rama. He is the one who does Kanyadanam.
Kanyadanam. Oh, okay.
Right? Brahmajnana. And Janaka represents a Karma Yogi. Only a Karma Yogi has the authority to say that this is how you should understand Advaita Jnana.
Amazing.
Right? That's why, every time when there was a Sita Kalyanam in Swami's presence, the kind of excitement that Swami had was completely different, because it was not a story of a avatar getting married to his consort. It was a moment of realization when the Atma actually comes in contact with Brahmajnana. Right? And even that, Swami tells that there's a very beautiful discourse that Swami narrates about the coronation, where Rama is calling each one of the people who have participated in this whole war in Lanka and says, what do you want? I want to show my gratitude. So Hanuman comes, and Swami says that Hanuman tells, I don't want anything. Just tell me, what is the secret? What is all this drama about? What was all this conveying? And Rama says, I can't tell you, because I don't know. He says it was all her play. And then Sita speaks, and Sita says, because I am the Moola Prakriti, the entire Ramayana is my play. Rama is the Atma, and the Atma is always only a witness. It doesn't involve, it doesn't play. Right? So entire Ramayana, Swami says, is actually the play of Mother Sita. The moment this much all the other miscommunications and misunderstandings we have about the Ramayana of Sita being the oppressed completely changes. It is her play.
Yes.
She was playing out the whole thing.
Yes.
Right? So these kind of essence in the Ramayana, I think the plenty as Swami is revealed through his Vahinis. It's phenomenal.
I mean, you mentioned about Hanuman also. Swami mentions at one place that, when Rama once asked Hanuman, what do you want? And, there are so many versions. Once Swami says that, Rama said, there's nothing that I can give you. And, he just embraces Hanuman. There's another occasion where Hanuman says, I don't want anything. And Rama says, okay, I give you this boon that whenever you think of me, I will be there. Whenever you think of me, I will be there. And I think that is such a powerful gift I think Swami has given to each one of us. Whoever is involved in Bhagwan's work, whoever dedicates their life, you want to become a servitor of the Lord, serve the Lord like Hanuman. So Swami is telling, whenever you want me, I will be there. And look at where Swami has kept Hanuman. He is right at the top of all the gods in the Hillview Stadium, telling us that there is nothing higher than having that kind of unstinted devotion, surrender, one-pointed focus of serving the Lord.
అప్పుడు రామ చాలా
Then
ఆనందించాడు.
Rama was ecstatic.
రఘుపతి కార్యం వీడేచిన కపిరాజ శిఖామణి
You are the king of monkeys, you have fulfilled the divine mission.
అగములు పురికొని జగములు వెలిసిన హన్మద్గురుడు నీవయ్యా.
In fact, you are the teacher of teachers, the Hanuman who have fulfilled Rama's mission.
పరిలంకాపురమున జొచ్చిన పురవరశివుడు నీవయ్యా.
In fact, you have gone to the Lanka, you have gone searched all over there.
జానకి శిలపై సిరిసిర మోసి గణగణ మోసిడి మణి మోసిన
And you have brought back the Sikhamani, the precious jewel decorated on the head of Sita. You have brought back and
మణి
handed
ఆమె
to
దగ్గర
me.
ఉన్నంత వరకు రావణాసుడు దగ్గర రావడానికి వీల్లేదు.
Oh, so long that precious jewel on her head, Ravana cannot be anywhere
దగ్గర
near.
రావడానికి వీల్లేదు.
He cannot be anywhere near her.
సీత శిరస్సు పైన తలసల మోసిన
It is shining brilliantly.
మణి మోసిన గంధీవయ్యా.
And in fact, you have carried that. You are such a mighty man, great
అప్పుడు
one.
దాన్ని తీసుకొని
Carrying it.
దాన్ని ఆనందంగా తీసుకొని అప్పుడు ఇంకా మనం ప్రయాణం కాండి లంకకు వెళ్ళాం.
And then he was extremely happy carrying. Let's go to Lanka, Rama said.
When the Hanuman statue was made, Swami said, I wanted to be at that height because people from far, because this is a statue that is going to live for thousands of years, and everyone, even from the road, they should be able to see, because that is the icon of Prasanthi Nilayam. That is where each one of us should rise. And once when Rama asked Hanuman, who am I to you? Hanuman said, at the level of the physical plane, I might be a servant, a servitor, and you are the master, but at the level of the mind, then I am just a Jivatma and you are the Paramatma. But at the level of the Atma, we are not different. I and you are one. And I think in that is encapsulated the entire journey of every spiritual aspirant. And it is for us on the occasion of Ramanavami to contemplate on this beautiful characters of Ramayana and become the Hanuman. Hanuman symbolizes that courage. Let's pick up that courage to cultivate that kind of unparalleled love for the Lord and shine as His beautiful instruments. Thank you so much. Sai Rama.